Hi everyone, Colby from Sanitarium Productions. It's time for us to take another trip in the Wayback Machine. So today what I have for you is this right here. It's a sealed in bag 1986 Steve the Refrigerator Perry action figure from the G.I. Joe line. As you can see, he comes sealed in the bag still. This is the mail away exclusive that came out back in the late 80s, 86, thereabout. You would basically fill out or collect the little forms out of the packages and send it in. I think they took 5 of the little paper strips or whatever they're called, plus shipping and handling, whatever that was. Put them together, send it off, and a few weeks later you would get your own little action figure back. So this particular one is the action figure itself is in pretty good shape. However, it's got some problems, and we're going to address those problems today. Essentially, the leg here is kind of broken off. The little T-hook that connects the legs to the O-ring has snapped in two, so his right leg is dangling loose like that. So we're just going to free him from his plastic cage and show you all how to kind of fix him up and make him new again. So what we have for you today is 1986 Steve the Refrigerator Perry, more commonly known to the Joe lexicon as the Fridge. As you can see, he's still sealed on his card back, as he was brought in with the mail-in certificate. As you can see, his right leg here is broken off, and so we're going to fix that today. So some of the tools that we have here: we've got a set of screwdrivers. What you need is a number 1 Phillips head screwdriver, and it should get into everything we need. We have a donor figure. We're going to be using this one here, which is the Cobra Coils figure. We're going to steal the T-joint off of him to replace the fridges. We also have this wonderful ice cube tray to put all our screws in. And I also have the bag of replacement O-rings. So I'm just going to use those to, while we got the figure apart, go ahead and replace the O-ring that came with him with a brand new one, so that in later years you may not have such an issue with that. So those are the tools we're going to use, and we're just going to go ahead and get started. So obviously, since this figure is already broken, there's no use keeping him in bag. But as you can see, while I've got it here, here's the back of the thing, made in China. It's got the Fridge's signature here and his number 72 here. It's pretty cool, made in China. And it's got the red card back that's common to the mail-away figures of that era. So. And he's free. So here's the figure itself. It's in really good condition, other than the fact that he's got a broken leg. So that's to be expected. So he comes with his little football mace here, which is kind of cool. But I'll stick that to the side for right now. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is just pull this thing apart. As you can see right here, the T-hook actually broke. That's what separates there to there. So there's a screw right here in the leg. We're just going to go ahead and pop that off. And I'm actually going to put the card to the side. We'll use this bubble wrap if we can to keep it from being scratched anymore. So it comes out rather easily. Put that in our screw holder there, and so these things are pretty tight in there, so you may have to pry it apart a little bit. So what we're going to do is take a little bitty flathead screwdriver and just put it in here and just kind of work that a little bit. You can see where it's already coming apart. Just gently pry that off. And as you see, there's the old piece that comes out right there. And there we go. So there's the one piece. Now to get the rest of him off, there's one screw in the back of all the figures. I'm going to do the same thing, just Phillips screwdriver. And voila, screw comes out. We'll put it in the parts bin over here. And just pop him apart like that. There's his arm, chest, other arm, head, back, and that's what we got. So, and his O-ring's actually still in pretty good shape, but I'll show you how to replace that too. It's the same process. Alright, so we take the other leg that we have here, and we got to take that screw out also. And see, the thing just fell apart in my hands right there. That one came off pretty easily there. So, but as you can see, there's just a little peg right there in that fits into the hole there that holds it together. So, yeah, kind of cool. So, we got him apart. Now we need to find his donor figure, Cobra Coils, and we'll do the same thing to him. And I'm putting those pieces in a different bin, just so I don't lose track of them. And that figure is made pretty much the exact same way. So, O-ring, and now we're going to pull apart and pull this off here. As you can see, actually, the gun holster is actually held on with that screw also, which I didn't realize. That's kind of cool. So, pop that off, and there's the ball joint that we're looking for. T-hook. And that was what we're looking for. That little piece right there. And all the pieces that came off the Cobra figure, slide them to the side because we don't need that anymore. Go back to Steve the Refrigerator Perry's figure. Pop that apart a little bit so we can get back in there. It just sticks on there like so. And we'll slide that on there. and just work it around until it finds the little groove, and snap, it goes right back on there. Take the original screw that came with the leg, put it back in there, tighten it down, and we just want to put it on there until you feel it start getting pressure on it. You don't want to tighten it down too much, because if you do, you're liable to strip the screw in there, so we definitely don't want that to happen. Whoa. The other part of the leg right here turns the T-hook part up so that the hook is on the top side. Put that right there. You may have to lay it down or start from the other side. And it just snaps back into place like that. Put the other screw back on, if I could hold on to it. Just tighten it back down. Again, you just want to go till you start feeling pressure on it, and then check your joints to make sure it's all snug. You don't have a seam line anywhere on it, and in this case it looks good, so we're good to go there. And that's all it takes to replace the O-hooks there, or sorry, the T-hooks for the legs. So our next step is we've got the original O-ring here that we're going to go ahead and replace while we're here. And we have just a bag of replacement ones here. And as you can see, the new one and the old one, there's not a whole lot of difference, except this one's been worn a little bit. So what we're going to do is take handy dandy Leatherman here and just stick it in here, and we're just going to stretch that out a little bit. Just so it has purchase. We're just going to take and hook that in the hook like so. Feed it back up here. You may have to pinch it a little bit to get it to go through the bottom piece of his waist. You can see in there. Sometimes you may just want to take your needle nose pliers and grab it and pull it through. Well, it jumps sometimes, so just try it again if it doesn't work the first time. You also have to thread the actual hook itself through there, and be careful to not break this little piece here, because those things are kind of fragile. And this may take a time or two to actually get it right for you. Just keep at it till you get it to go through the right way. And this one's being a bit of a pain. There it goes. Just pull straight back up like that, and you're good. So the next step is we need to grab his back, and the ideal is to put the hook over top of the center peg here. And it's pretty easy. You just kind of hook it in there and pull it forward enough to get the back in there, and then it just does like that. You may need to hold it, put a little bit of pressure on it to get it to stay in place long enough for you to get everything else in. Then you're going to make sure you get the right arms, the correct arms, not the right ones, and they should just slip right into place here like that. You don't want to have the wrong arm on the wrong side of the body. They just lay in there like so most of the time. Same thing for the head. Just stick it on there like that. Replace the arm again. I'm going to take his chest piece, do the same thing, and then just get it, kind of work it in here until it snaps into place. You'll hear it snap like that. And you're good to go. Flip him over. Grab your back screw. Drop it in there. Tighten it down. And again, you just want to go just until you feel the pressure. As you can see, the figure's starting to twitch when I do that, so I know I've got it about the right pressure gauge. And voila, you are done. Now you take a look at your figure, make sure all your seams are good. There's no extra gaps anywhere. Sides, everything. You also want to test by moving their arms up and see if gravity pulls them back down. If they do just fall down, that means you've got it too loose. Also, while you're here, just check articulation in the legs, see if they're moving okay. Again, you want it to be tight, but not too awful tight. That's why we stretched out the O-ring to begin with. But essentially that is all we need to do. And now we have a fully functional Steve the Refrigerator Perry figure back in his original shape. Ready to go back out on the gridiron. The parts we had left over, we can just toss those. The O-ring, toss it. All the extra pieces we got off of our donor figure. Well, there's not a whole lot we can do about that. We can let the fridge carry him around as a football if we want to. I put all these things in just a bin somewhere. If we need spare parts for another figure later on, we'll have them. But essentially that's it. So there you go. How to repair a T-ring and an O-ring. Sorry, T-hook and an O-ring, and a very cool Steve the Refrigerator Perry figure. Check back later, we'll do a full review of the figure itself, and I've got some other plans for him as well. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe down below. Send me any feedback you have. Yo, Joe.